found. For when they placed it on his head, he began to dance around. Frosty.
Welcome back, everyone, to my 12 Days of Christmas. I am April Davis with April Davis Creations. I'm an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up, and I live in Spring Hill, Kansas. Today is Saturday, December 28th. We only have a few more days of this year left. Christmas decorations are coming down today. My house looks a little barren, but I'll get used to it. I just had a lot of Christmas decorations up, but I'm still celebrating the 12 days of Christmas with all of you. And today is actually day number 4. So pull out your package for day number 4 and we will open it together if you haven't already opened it. So let me go ahead. I did a really good job of wrapping this up. Let's see what's in this package. If I can get it open. All right, here we go. All right. Pull this out, and we have, they're called the Paper Butterfly Accents. So here's what we're going to do with the Paper Butterfly Accents. I've got a couple of different things that I'm going to show you. I am saving this because I have been utilizing mine, and you can see that I've utilized quite a few of them on a number of different projects. But just so you know, once you open it up, you've got these sheets of butterflies. What I do is I keep them in one of my folders that comes with your stamps or dies. So if you keep your stamps or dies inside of your stamp case, like I do, I have a lot of these left over. And because I do have a lot of these left over, let me pull out a couple of these. I'm going to use a couple of them today. Then what I can do is I can put these back in, and I keep them nice and neat, and I don't have to worry about them getting messed up. So that's how I store those. All right, so what are we going to do today? I think the first thing we're going to do is we're going to do some misting. Remember when we did the spritzer bottles and we created a mist with the alcohol, rubbing alcohol and the ink refills. This is Misty Moonlight. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my butterflies, pop them out. I'm going to lay them on my paper. I'm going to organize them the way that I want them, but let me get them popped out first. And then I don't know that I would necessarily use this as a stencil. You can if you choose to. I'm not going to. I have plenty. So let me go ahead, and I think I'm going to set these up just like this. And of course, I'm on my glass mat. I've got my alcohol ink in my spritzer. I'm mixing it up, and basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to get as far back as I can. So obviously you're not going to be able to see me in window how far back I'm going to be, but I'm going to try to get high because I want a light mist. And as I do my light mist, I'm going to get the mist. I'm also going to get, this is something that I wanted to share with you in spritzers. So we're going to go back to spritzers just a second. If you don't push all the way down and you just do a half spritz, you are going to get little dots like I've got. So I'm going to go all the way down like this, and that way I will get a more full spritz. All right, so I've got that. I'm going to go ahead and let this set for just a second. While it dries, you can see that it's quite damp because my cardstock has started to curl. I'm going to use my baby wipes to wipe off this part of my mat. And then what I can do is I can take my tweezers if I want to, and I'm going to lift up my butterflies. And look at that pretty base that I have now, that I have created, that I can actually incorporate into a card. So you'll probably see me incorporate it into a card somehow during these 12 days of Christmas. But isn't that pretty? It's just so delicate and light. I love that. But what's even more fun is now I have butterflies that have also been misted that I can incorporate in some way. So I don't know that I'll incorporate it on here, maybe not, maybe, I don't know. But I've got now several things that I can utilize to create additional cards. Utilizing my butterflies that came in our day 4 package, the paper butterfly accents. I'm accenting them this way. I can accent this way. And I'm actually going to create a card for you guys now that will also utilize the paper butterflies. So let me move this off to the side while this continues to dry. And I've been sharing with you sneak peeks of different things that are coming out in the new winter catalog, the January through April mini catalog. And beautiful butterflies. How ironic, if you will, that I'm talking about butterflies and we're doing day 4 with butterflies. But the beautiful butterflies bundle is out in that catalog, and it comes with some gorgeous butterflies and being able to create, but it also comes out with some fun dies as well. Big butterfly dies. This is actually going to allow you to create a butterfly card so it doesn't cut on the fold, and you actually then have a butterfly card that you have, plus a lot of other different things. Their bodies, little banners that you can utilize. I'm actually going to use this set, but only in a small way. I'm going to use one of the sentiments that they've got. And this sentiment that I'm going to use today is time to celebrate. So how am I using this? Well, I also want to share with you another item that is in our new spring catalog, if you will, the one January to April. And this is called, do I have it? It's called Beautiful Bokeh DSP. Look how pretty this DSP is. So you've got this side, and then you've got like a splatter side. So pretty. So I've actually got several projects that I'm doing with this bokeh cardstock. And today I'm going to pair this bokeh DSP, if you will, up with my butterflies. So let me finish getting through here so you can just see how pretty this bokeh paper is. And then all the splatters on the back side. And then we've got the blue and the splatters on the back side. So I'm actually going to be using this paper today. So I'm going to bring in my cardstock, and it's just a piece of basic white thick cardstock. Whenever I'm creating my cards, I always utilize the thick cardstock for my base, and then I will use the other cardstock for my layering. So I'm looking for my bone folder so I can make sure my crease is as it should be. I'm going to actually pop out a couple of these butterflies. So I've got these ready to use. And then what I've done is I've cut a piece of the Bokeh Designer Series paper to fit my card. Okay, but before I actually adhere it, I'm going to be doing some stamping. And the stamp that I'm using is from the Beautiful Butterfly stamp set, Time to Celebrate. But because it is a photopolymer stamp, I am actually going to bring in my Stampin' Pierce mat so that we've got some cushion. It doesn't look like my stamp's really straight. So a lot of times when I'm putting my stamp on my block, I will line it up on my grid the way that I need it. Sorry if I'm getting my head in the way, but I'll line it up on my grid, and then I'll line the block up with the grid as well. And then once I do that, then I feel like I've got my stamp set fairly straight. So let me turn this around and see if there's one particular way that I want this to go. I think this is fine. I am actually going to stamp on the Designer Series paper in Fresh Freesia. I think Fresh Freesia is going to be a great color for this. So let's go ahead and get our sentiment stamped first. Then we can get it adhered to our card base. So I'm just going to do a tap, 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 tap. Make sure I get plenty of ink on it. Move it out of the way. And I'm going to bring it down to the bottom here. Again, apologies for my head. I can tell that I'm getting my head in the way, but we're going to try to get this straight. Okay. Good adherence. I want the ink to transfer onto my Designer Series paper, and we've got it. Time to celebrate. Excuse me. All right. So now what I can do, let me clean this off really quickly so I don't get it in my way. Move that out of the way now. And we are going to adhere this to our card base. So I'm going to get my glue. And we'll get this adhered. And then we're going to start to work on our butterflies. All right, looks like I'm getting a little thick there. All right, so let's get this adhered. Want to make sure it's straight, evenly spaced side to side. Okay, so now we've got this. That paper's so pretty. So let's bring our butterflies in. What are we going to do with our butterflies? I've got some sponge daubers that I'm going to utilize, and I'm going to pull in the same ink that I was using, or that I feel like is part of this particular Bokeh Designer Series paper. So I picked Fresh Freesia, I picked Petal Pink, and I picked Highland Heather. So let's see what we're going to do. I'm going to start with the Fresh Freesia first. And let me see, do I have a piece? Yep, I have a piece of scrap here that I've been using all week. So let me pull this in. I use it until I can't. So I'm going to tap into the Fresh Freesia, and I'm just going to tap this off a little bit. I need to make sure I get some color on it. And then I'm going to take my butterflies, and I'm just going to start. I need to get more color on this. I'm going to start. I don't really want circles, and because I'm twisting, I'm getting circles, but I want to make sure that I'm getting the ink on. So we'll do this. It'll kind of go with the bokeh, right? Because the bokehs are circles as well. So I've got some Fresh Freesia. And I know it's hard for you guys to see. It'll come together here in just a second. Then I'm going to put on the Highland Heather. If I can get it open. There we go. Get my Highland Heather. Tap it. See how dark it is. Not too bad. All right, so now I'm going to start tapping it. We're just going to go in different areas and tap it. We'll do the big one as well. So obviously I'm giving my butterfly some color. Okay, and the last one I'm going to do then is the Petal Pink. So we're going to pull in Petal Pink. I'm just going to test it on the side. All right, so everywhere I feel like I didn't have color, I'm going to pop in some Petal Pink. All right, I think that will get me. Now, what I want to do, see if I can do this. I really want the body to just have a little bit more color. So I'm going to bring back in the, do I want Highland Heather? No, I want Fresh Freesia, I think. I'm just doing this on the fly. So I'm going to take my Fresh Freesia ink again, and I'm going to try to color in the body. And I'm going to pick the butterfly up so that I can just kind of ink this a little bit. I've got a little bit more control, but I want a little bit more color on the body. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. All right, so I'm going to do the same thing on this body. And then lastly, he's got some little antennas, and I want his little antennas to show up as well. Let me give a little bit more on here. So I think what I'm going to do with the antennas is I'm going to do them in Highland Heather. This little one just doesn't want to open for me very well. Tap that in, and I'm just going to kind of brush over the tops of these antennas with the Highland Heather. There we go. You can see that. Do this again. So I'm just really doing all my coloring with my sponge daubers. All right, so we've got that. Okay, so now we've got our little butterflies created. Let me move this out of the way. And I'm going to bring this back in here for just a second. But you can see now as we lay the butterflies down on this bokeh, how pretty is that? I'm going to bring this up. We're not done yet, but I'm going to bring this up so you can see. So the colors really blend together. It's a very soft, subtle look. But what I want to do now is I'm going to take these off, move this out of the way, bring my paper back in. And remember with our spritzers, we created some Wink of Stella. Wouldn't these butterflies be so pretty spritzed with Wink of Stella? So I'm going to spritz to get my shine on my butterflies. So we've got that done. And I'm going to let this dry for just a second. I'm going to bring my card back in. And what we're going to do with the butterflies is we're only going to adhere them. Can you see the shine on them? Oh, I don't know if you can or not. I got to get the right. I don't know if you guys can or not. I'm not seeing it. But it's there, I promise. Maybe we'll see it when it gets down on the card. Maybe we just can't see it on my hands. But basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these butterflies down. But I'm going to put them down just with their body. So let me get these lined up the way that I want to get these lined up. And I want to put them down so that they have a little bit of movement, which means that the only place that the glue is going to go is right here on their body. Just right there. So I'll turn this over, get it to where I want it to be. I want it to be on the card. So we'll put that one down. And let me just take a block. I've been working on some other projects as well, so I've got other blocks on my station. And then we're going to put some right here on this one. And this little butterfly is going to go right here. And I'll put a block down here and make sure that gets adhered. Is that moving? It's still moving, which means it's not dry. Move this one, but then this will come up. It's a little damp yet because I spritzed it with the Wink of Stella. But you can see what's going to happen. And look at how pretty this card is. Can you see the shimmer? I don't know if you can or not. Oh my goodness. I'm looking at it and there's so much shimmer here, but these butterflies are so delicate. And you saw how I did them to mix and match. You guys have all different kinds of cardstock and designer series paper. These butterflies are designed so that you can use them as stencils to create your own designer series paper. I will be doing something with this. I think this is so pretty. But because they're white, you can color them up any way you want to color them up and create your own designer series paper or your own cards with them as well. So that's what we've got for today. We utilized I'm going to bring them back in again, the paper butterfly accents. I hope you have a lot of fun creating with them. Let me know what you create. I'd love to see them. And I will see you tomorrow for day 5. Bye, everyone.